This week we are going to focus on the two different types of adverbs. You get an adverb of manner as well as an adverb of time. Okay, so the adverb of manner describes how an action takes place. For example, how did it happen? Okay, so an adverb, it says it in the word, it's a word that's added to a verb. So it describes the verb. In which way? In how let's say your verb is eat. Okay, so now I want you to describe how he is eating. Okay, if it's an adverb of time, you will say when he is eating. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go through these. I want you to complete these in your workbook. It says complete the following sentences by filling in adverbs of manner from the fable. Remember to ask how the action took place. Highlight the word how. Okay, the animals gathered to watch. How did they gather? Then you just page back to the fable, yeah? How did they gather? They gathered excitedly. So you fill that in there by number 1. Number 2, the hare set off. How did he set off? Go back a page. He set off at a sprint. Number 3, he shouted back to the tortoise. How did he shout back? He shouted back loudly to the tortoise. Number 4, the tortoise plodded on. How did the tortoise plod on? The tortoise continued slowly on. He crossed the finish line. How did he cross the finish line? In good time. And then the last one, the crowd cheered. How did the crowd cheer? The animals who were watching cheered loudly. Now I want you to practice adverbs. Now match each verb to the appropriate verb in the margin. Okay, so here what you're going to do, you're going to look at the verbs: grin, sing, frown, and whisper, and then you have to match the correct adverb to the verb. So you can just write the word grin and choose the correct adverb that will go with grin. Grin angrily. Sing loudly. Frown broadly. Whisper softly. Your story for the week: The Elephant and the Ants, a fable from India. In the days of old, when there was a great deal more jungle than there is now, 2 ants were burrowing in the ground. An elephant appeared and declared impatiently, "Burrow elsewhere, or I will trample your work to pieces." The ants answered, "Don't hate us because we are small. Perhaps we are better than you in some ways." "Don't talk nonsense," the elephant responded angrily. "I am in all ways the largest and most powerful animal on the face of the earth." "Well, let us run a race now. If you win, we will admit today that you are supreme," the ant shouted. "We will start at once," the elephant declared, and he set off immediately. When he tired, he looked down at the ground. There were 2 ants, so he set off again, and when he stopped and looked down, there were 2 ants. So he ran on again, but wherever he stopped, he saw the ants. Eventually, he collapsed from exhaustion. In your workbook, I want you to read your paragraph again, read your questions, read your paragraph again, and then you can start answering these questions in your workbook. Please remember to answer these questions in full sentences. Page 95. Earlier on, we spoke about adverbs of manner. Now we are going to speak about adverbs of time. So now we'll look at the word when. So it's a word that's added to a verb to indicate when something happened. So number 1. All the adverbs of time have been underlined in the fable about the elephant and the ants. That's the one that we read on page 94. Write these sentences out in your workbook. Number 2, complete the following sentences using adverbs of time from the list in the margin. You will be using this list. Complete A, B, C, D, and E in your workbook. Your last activity for the week, we're going to revise past tense. Remember, when we do past tense, your first step is you need to underline the verb. Okay, so I want you to answer number 1, A, B, C, D, and E. So you need to read A, the hare bragged about how fast he was. Now I want you to underline the verb in that sentence. You can do number 1 in your textbook. He bragged, so bragged will be your verb. He sprinted ahead but tied easily. What is your verb? Sprinted. So underline sprinted. You can do C, D, and E on your own. Next, regular verbs are changed into the past tense by adding an ed to the end of the verb. Example, present tense, I walk. Past tense, I walked. Now, number 2, change the underlined verbs below into the simple past tense. Write out your new sentence. So you're going to do to A to E. Read A, and then I want you to rewrite it in your workbook in the past tense. They've already underlined the verb for you, so you don't have to do that. You can just change it into the past tense by adding a ed. The animals gathered to watch the race. The animals gathered to watch the race. The tortoise prepares to do his best. The tortoise prepared to do his best. C, D, and E you can do by yourself.